Hey guys, for this video, I will not have any visuals. This will basically be a podcast format video. And once again, there will be no visuals in this video at all. So for this video, I want to do a rant. And as I am filming this, it is still Halloween 2019, and happy Halloween to all of you. I hope it's been a great day for all of you watching this video. But yeah, so this video is going to be a little bit of an NFL rant. Now, recently I finally got the Color Rush uniforms covered, which is a huge weight off my shoulders in terms of my catch-up list. And I know I have a thread in my Discord server called my to-do list. But I think I should probably call it my catch-up list, because I got a lot to still catch up on, eh? But the thing is that this is a rant that I've actually been thinking about for the past couple of weeks, and I've decided I'm going to make this video because it's something that I want to discuss. And here's what I'm going to be discussing in this video. I'm going to be discussing how I feel the NFL takes way too long or forces teams to wait far too long in order for them to redesign their jerseys. Yeah, it's really frustrating to see in the NFL, in my opinion. But yeah, I feel that the National Football League forces teams to wait far too long to be able to redesign their uniforms. And to be quite frank, I am getting really sick and tired of it. And I will explain why. The reason I'm sick and tired of them forcing teams to wait 5 years before a redesign is because in the Nike era, we've had far too many teams, such as the Buccaneers, recently, in the past year or so, the Tennessee Titans, most recently the New York Jets, although I love their new shade of green, they've all brought out rather mediocre redesigns. And Jacksonville's first Nike redesign was a total train wreck and a half, and the Color Rush uniform made it even that much more worse. So when a team absolutely craps the bed on their uniforms, such as the Browns or the Buccaneers, or even most recently, in my opinion, the Jets, and even the Tennessee Titans, I hate their uniforms, to be honest. Even though I love the shade of powder blue that they use, which I think they call it Columbia blue, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful color. Should be their main color, at least. But you know, I've seen so many teams in the Nike era redesign their uniforms to the point where there's such monumental downgrades. And what frustrates me even more is that in order for these teams to get a redesign, they have to wait 5 full years. 5 bloody years before they can change their uniforms. We had to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars wear those awful, hideous helmets, the half gold, half matte black helmets with those ultra mediocre college football-esque uniforms, including those mustard colored baby poop Color Rush uniforms. They don't even deserve to be called a Color Rush uniform. That's how bad I thought Jacksonville's Color Rush uniform was. I mean, I know I've had the inside joke of calling them Color Rush uniforms anyway, but still, that's a team that I don't even think is worthy of calling their jersey a Color Rush. It was more like a fecal rash. Yeah, I said that right, exactly as you heard it. Fecal, as in a feces rash, or poop, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Anyways, what frustrates me is when I see teams like Jacksonville and the worst offender of all, the Tampa Bay goddamned Buccaneers, and close behind their buddies in awful uniform redesigns in Cleveland, the good old Cleveland Browns, absolutely defecating all over their uniform identity for this garbage that they've had for the past 5+ years. And Jesus H. Christ, it really annoys the hell out of me that in the National Football League, these teams have to wait 5 years before they can change their uniforms. Now, I also want to lay point the blame finger at the teams themselves for, of course, approving this garbage. Tampa Bay, Cleveland, New York, Jets, and Tennessee, and Jacksonville. Yeah, those redesigns were horrible designs that your teams approved. Nike created the crap uniforms and you signed off on them. So yeah, you reap what you sow. And from our perspective, yeah, they reap what they've sown, eh? But it's frustrating to see. So because of their stupidity and this idea that wearing these pathetic collegiate-inspired uniforms or college football-esque uniforms, they think that they're just going to be huge hits for jersey sales. I have a feeling that's probably not the case. I've even heard a lot of complaints from people in our younger generations of 25 years of age and under, saying that these redesigns have been garbage. Well, I'm one of those people, obviously. I mean, even the Miami Dolphins, their uniforms are simple, their main ones, yeah. And, I do think they should be acknowledged for getting rid of that navy blue accent color and going back to their original coral orange. The tweaks they did make to their main jerseys have been upgrades, but their jerseys are still mediocre. And that new logo of theirs that they've had for the past 5 or so years looks totally corporate to me. Their old logo with the helmet, with the dolphin wearing a helmet, was a real simple, classic logo. And they got rid of it just for the heck of it. And, in Miami's case, at least they've improved their jerseys a little bit. And their uniforms overall are not a total write-off. They're actually tolerable. Except when they've decided to wear their orange color rush uniform. And now that they don't wear that anymore, they're monochromatic teal or aqua. Looks bad. In the Dolphins' case, I just saw their most recent game against the Pittsburgh Steelers wearing their white throwbacks. Why don't they wear that every goddamn time they wear a white jersey? They need to go full-time retro, and the Saints need to go full-time retro. And I don't give a damn if their striping style on both teams' jerseys or throwbacks are similar. I don't care. The color schemes are radically different, and as far as I'm concerned, those jerseys are bloody gorgeous. Where both teams' current uniforms, and New Orleans as well, are garbage, except for their color rush jersey. Beautiful. Their home and away jerseys with the white and black leotard yoga pant looks are hideous. I'm sick and tired of it. And you see these teams like Tampa Bay, where they thought, okay, well, we're going to have pewter shoulder yokes. Well, it looks like somebody took a whole log of somebody's crap out of their butt crack and smeared it all over their shoulders and said, here you go, guys. Wear this for the next 5 years with digital alarm clock numbers. Woo! You could be the talk of the town, all right, for all the wrong goddamn reasons. So now, not just Buccaneers fans, but us regular football fans that are not fans of the Buccaneers are stuck looking at those atrocities for the past 5 goddamn years. And their bright red Mighty Morphin color rash uniform on top of that. Gee, splendid job, Tampa Bay. You've given your fans arguably the worst uniforms in the entire NFL, which in my opinion they are, eh? Bloody awful. And got these, they didn't even keep the little chest sashes things on their Color Rush jersey after they wore it for the first game against the Rams when they played their last game in St. Louis back in 2015. Now it's just a plain red practice jersey with pewter alarm clock numbers. What a wonderful job the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have done to ruin their friggin' uniforms. Why? That annoys me about the NFL. Now, if you look at another sport, Major League Baseball, I've seen teams like the San Diego Padres change their uniforms multiple times in back-to-back-to-back years. I think when they did that, it was back-to-back years or whatever. Or back-to-back-to-back. I can't remember. But there was a point in the past few years where the Padres in Major League Baseball were changing their uniforms as often as your average Joe would change their bloody underwear in a goddamn week. In baseball, I think you should have to wait 3 years. Even in the National Hockey League, a significant example I will use is the Edmonton Oilers. In the 07-08 season, they had their Reebok Edge mediocrity garbage uniforms. Then in the 08-09 season, they brought back their classic royal blue jersey as a throwback third, which they should have never switched to orange and navy. I can't say that enough. And then in the 09-10 season, the Oilers made that their full-time jersey after 2 seasons of wearing their other garbage as their main home jersey, their navy blue one. Then in the 2010-11 season, they finally got rid of the white Reebok Edge jersey and went full-time retro, but they still wore their navy blue jersey as a third jersey for 1 season before it was thankfully burned to oblivion and retired forever, I hope. So let's see, in the Oilers' case, 07-08 season, they unveil a pair of absolute garbage uniforms. The 08-09 season, they bring in the throwback third. Then for the 9-10 season, that becomes their home jersey. The navy blue becomes their third jersey. Then in the 2010-11 season, 4 seasons, they go full-time retro, even though they're stuck with that hideous navy blue jersey. In the Philadelphia Flyers case, 07-08 season, they have their mediocre Reebok Edge uniforms. The 08-09 season, they have that gorgeous orange throwback that's been their home jersey ever since. Or ever since the 9-10 season. Yeah, and then in the 09-10 season, they brought that in as they made that their full-time home jersey, which was the right thing to do. And then the next season, and then during that season, they brought in the white version of that for their Winter Classic uniform and made it their away jersey right away the next season. So basically, after 3 years, they went from having garbage uniforms to having some of the best. In the NFL, thankfully the Jacksonville Jaguars have changed their uniforms last year. They are way better than what they replaced. But in my opinion, they're still too damn plain. And I hate it when they wear monochrome teal. It's a terrible look. It's a terrible look. And their uniforms, in my opinion, are far too plain. And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful that they upgraded their uniforms, and I like the simple black helmet too. Way better than the old one. I know we can all agree on that, but still, I don't like how plain the Jaguars' new uniforms are, to be honest. Especially when they wear monochrome white. It's too plain. At least with their black jersey, there are some significant spots of teal on it. That you can kind of see some teal. You don't get that on the away jersey. Either that or I need to get my eyes checked. But I'm pretty sure I'm right. Last time I looked, the only spot they had teal was on the Nike logo. Yeah, let's rely on a company logo to add a color to our jersey. Great idea. It's great marketing for Nike, but it takes away from the uniform as far as I'm concerned. Stupid. And it's just... And now even with the Tennessee Titans, I believe they unveiled their new jerseys a year ago. We're going to be stuck looking at them until 2023. The Cleveland Browns, we've had to look at their friggin' eyesores since, I believe, 2014 2014, maybe 2015. Yeah, I think it was 2015 they brought them in. And please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But we've had to look at a team with some of the most simplest classic uniforms in the entire goddamned NFL and trashed them for this modernized collegiate trash. Instead of being the Cleveland Browns, I would argue that for the past few years, since they've switched to their current uniforms, they've become the Cleveland Turds. And to you Cleveland Browns fans out there, I mean, I'm talking about their uniforms. And sadly, your team has had a winless season since they brought in their current uniforms, as far as I can recall. And by the way, I do hope that the Browns fix their uniforms and turn their team around. They've been mediocre for far too long. I mean, other NFL teams should have a chance to have some success once in a while too, in my opinion. And you know, not only have the Browns been a bad franchise, but their uniforms have been hideous. My God. All for the sake of change and to sell more goddamned jerseys. Thanks, Cleveland. I mean, at least their Color Rush uniform has a little bit of a traditional look to it. Even though they can get rid of the monochromatic orange on brown any day of the week now. And sadly, the irony in it is that that's the only uniform they have left that's even tolerable. Obviously, that's a matter of my personal opinion, of course, and I don't expect everyone to agree with everything I say. But it really annoys the hell out of me how in the National Football League, we have to wait that long for a team to get rid of their hideous uniforms. Now, I agree with anyone who says that it's up to the teams to make sure they don't do that, so that we're not all stuck as a fan base of the sport and the league itself having to look at these atrocities for 5 years. But you know what? I don't know. But to me, I think the NFL should allow teams to make a change after 3 years. I think that's plenty of time. And you know what? Even if it's not to their home and away uniforms, they should at least be allowed to bring in a new jersey, even as a third jersey for the 4th year. And then for the 5th year, they can make it their home jersey, then do a redesign. Something. NFL fans, especially Buccaneers fans, and especially Browns fans, and Titans fans, and fans with teams that have hideous or mediocre uniforms like the New York Jets, they should not have to look at that crap for 5 years. I mean, come on. I mean, imagine if the New York Jets actually brought in a throwback jersey from the early 1990s, for example. Brought that in as a new alternate jersey after 3 years. And then in the 4th year, they bring that in, and the fans go, oh my God, this is so much better than our new collegiate-inspired garbage we have now. Even though, as I've said many times, the new shade of green in New York is great. I love the green. It's just the uniforms I don't love. And their logo doesn't even have a bloody jet in it. It doesn't even have a jet in it. What the hell? Well, yeah, we're the New York Jets, but our logo's a football, and it says New York Jets inside it. Gee, way to be creative. Can't even put a jet in their damn logo. Oh, God. I'm sorry, but I'm in a real ranty type of mood talking about NFL uniforms since 2012. I mean, I just, like, even the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, why couldn't they have, after 3 years, been allowed to bring in their new black jersey as a third or as an alternate, and retired the other black jersey, and then made it their full-time home jersey in 2017, and then made the change to everything else in 2018? I mean, waiting 5 years to replace such bad uniforms is too long. It should be 3 years. Or at least after 3 years, they should allow a team to bring in a new alternate jersey. And then for the 5th and final year, we're stuck with their atrocities. They can at least do something right and wear the new alternate that's probably going to be an improvement over the current garbage they have. A team already has, likely, in the Nike era. They could wear that at home for the year and make everything more tolerable with their team's uniforms. Then the next year, they can say, hey, we've listened to you guys. We're sorry about ruining our uniforms. This jersey is not only our new full-time home jersey as of this past season, but here's a new matching away jersey and a new alternate on top. But seriously, I mean, next year, 2020, according to what I've been hearing, sounds like it's going to be a good year for the NFL in terms of its uniforms. I'm hearing that the Browns are finally changing their uniforms and throwing these ones in a dumpster fire, which they should have never changed in the first place as far as I'm concerned. And thank you, Nick, for the link on Discord, by the way. I want to give you a shout out for that, by the way. But, you know, supposedly the uniforms will be back to being more traditional. Well, why not just go back to what you had before? It was fine the way it was. It was simple. It had nice striping on the sleeves. It's all you needed. I don't even care if they don't have a logo besides their helmet. I don't care. Just have nice uniforms to look at on the field again. And as for Tampa Bay, I mean, at this point, just go back to your Super Bowl winning uniforms. At least we can all agree that those would be a dramatic overhaul, improvement over this crap that you retired those uniforms for in the first place. Goodness me. And by the way, if you hear any loud bangs or anything, it is Halloween. So if there's any fireworks in the background or any loud bangs, that's what you're hearing. You're hearing fireworks and firecrackers. And no, they're not edible. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to be funny here while ranting. And I'm sure that it just blew up in my face too. But anyway, you know, you look at these mediocre redesigns and it's like, why are we forced to look at this crap for so damn long? I mean, a team could do a couple of redesigns in 6 years, and even if they're not great, at least they would be improvements every 3 years. I'd take that over 2 mediocre half-assed design redos in a decade. Jeez. I mean, in the National Hockey League, for example, at least after a few years, a team could get rid of, say, a bad alternate uniform. Like, for example, the Ottawa Senators. After a couple of seasons of wearing their black third jersey that said Sens on the front, they replaced it with their black jersey with the red and beige barber pole striping with the O on the front. Big upgrade. I mean, you know, even the New York Islanders, when they wore their 2014 Stadium Series jersey, which I thought that for an alternate jersey wasn't bad, they wore it for 2 seasons, and then after 2 seasons, they retired it and brought in a new mediocre third jersey. I mean, at least you don't have to wait a long time to get rid of a jersey in the NHL. I mean, in the NFL, you have to wait half a bloody decade. God, so stupid. I mean, not only do they have that one helmet rule where you can't even get the nice throwbacks once in a while to at least give us something nice to look at for a game or two every year, which would really help the Tampa Bay Buccaneers more than anybody right now, in my opinion. We're just stuck with this, with either their home and away jerseys or their bright red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger jumpsuits. Go Power Rangers. Jeez. From what I gather, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers couldn't even beat Rita Repulsa at this point. Jeez, at least they could have decent-looking uniforms. I think Buccaneers fans who may be watching this video can at least agree with me on one thing. Their uniforms need to go. Whether you're a Buccaneers fan or you're not. Can we all at least agree that the Buccaneers need new goddamn uniforms? And I think a lot of Buccaneers fans would agree that they definitely, the team itself could be better too. A lot better, obviously. But anyways, guys, I wanted to do a rant, okay? I have really, really wanted to rant about the NFL and how long they've forced teams to wait for redesigns for a long time. So let me tell you, it's nice to finally get this video done. Because truth is, I've wanted to talk about this for a while. But anyways, guys, I know this has been a longer video, especially without having any visual elements in it. But you know what? I hope that even if you don't totally agree with me on everything, I hope that at some point or another you have at least kind of enjoyed this video. I hope. If you're not, then my bad. Sorry for wasting your time, but you know, I know that my viewpoints on things are probably not always going to align with everybody's viewpoints that watch my videos. I understand that, eh? But the thing is the redesigns that we've seen from Nike and the NFL since 2012 overall have not been good. And what makes it worse is that you have teams like Jacksonville and Tampa Bay and Cleveland and Tennessee. Oh, God forbid that you have to see them wear these new mediocre redesigns for 5 years before they can change it. I'm sorry, that's just too damn long as far as I'm concerned. And at the bare minimum, after 3 years, they should at least be allowed to bring in a new jersey as an alternate. But better yet, I think that after 3 years, if there is enough discontent from the fan base, a team should be allowed to bring in a new uniform. I mean, if a National Hockey League franchise can change their main uniforms after 3 years, I don't buy it that the NFL can't either. I mean, I look at the NBA too. I mean, to me, the NBA has become a joke in terms of their uniforms. And I'm sure that people will have other things to say too. I mean, for me, the big kicker is the ads on the jerseys. Any other league does that, holy crap, I'm going to have a fit. That's selling out, especially when these leagues make billions of dollars every year. There's no need for that crap. It's selling out as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, the NBA all the time, every year, every single team's got a new jersey of some sort. They're constantly changing uniforms all the time now. It's stupid. Should at least have to wait 3 years. God. So anyways, guys, I'm going to call a wrap on this video because if I don't wrap it up now, next thing you know, I'm going to be ranting about the NBA. And I'm going to be going from a 28-minute video to possibly an hour and a half. And anyways, I would love to hear what other people think about this video and everything I've ranted about here. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have any comments or anything you'd love to add, by all means, I'd love to hear what other people think. I always do, eh? But anyways, guys, before I go on any longer, I'm going to wrap it and call it quits on this video now before it gets much longer. So anyways, guys, it's been almost a half an hour. I hope that if you have watched this video that you have enjoyed it. And if you disagree with me on anything, I totally respect your opinions and I understand where you're coming from. But anyways, guys, on that note, folks, take care. And of course, as always, everybody, bye for now.